right buttons is important. Welcome to Daytona for Heat 1 of the Busch Bonanza UNOH 300. Both heats will be 75 laps. The top 13 will advance to the big 150 lap feature event. Much like last week, points beyond 26th from the feature will be awarded to the fastest heat. So there is some reason to try to keep it clean even if you're not going to get in. And we are now standing by for the command to start the engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
And the engines fire. It's the best time to build all season. And the cars roll from the grid. For tonight, we've turned Daytona into a short track. Should be some good excitement. This track did produce the best interview in the history of NASCAR. Hopefully we can get similar excitement tonight from the Bonanza drivers. Hopefully not as much salty interviews, but you never know. Pace car peels away. Field comes off at turn 4. Starter's got the green in his hand. And the green flag waves on heat number 1. Mersdorf starts off in the lead alongside Diggs into turn 1 for the first time. Joe's going to get a run off the corner. Diggs still with him. Trying to hang tough on the outside. There is no banking at all here. This is the definition of a flat track. I expect it to be bottom lane all night. Maybe we should have put resin in the top lane. Mersdorf pulls ahead. Diggs going backwards. Needs to find its way down to the bottom of the track. Stretching it out at the front. Now that they get single file, they can start pulling away from the guys that are still racing side by side, because it just slows you down to get alongside anybody here. Tommy Davis staying with the leader here. Might actually make a race out of this. Not sure there's too much reason to do that. I don't think it'll help you any. You know, I kind of hate how the 2D pop-up crowds look when you see them from behind, because nobody ever put back textures onto them. Oh, we got trouble back there. Bev getting together with somebody. Looks like Cheeseman and Freisch got together. Nearly turned that 13 car around in the backstretch. Didn't seem to cost either one of them too much time, although Cheeseman now has gotten pushed up off the bottom and is losing spots. Cheeseman's gonna hang on for dear life now. Oh, missed the corner a little bit. That's not gonna help him. Here comes York. York trying to push him back onto the bubble. York dives it in there. Getting aggressive with that Mustang. Well, these heats aren't exactly short. They are half the distance of the feature, so tire management may come into play towards the end. Wow, that 11 just sailed it off into turn 1. I didn't think he was going to make the corner. We got some good cars here at the back of the field. I'll have to see if maybe they start working their way forward. I mean, this 5 car was strong all last season. 15, 68, those were good cars last season. And it's shown speed in some of the early races, but they're not anywhere near where we expect them to be right now. All on the outside looking in. Cheeseman's also now out. The 11 that just went by has taken the transfer spot. But nobody's there with the 11. Everybody's back here trying to filter their way through. See if they can make a charge. Got a nice start to the season. This season, a few more short tracks at the beginning of the season would actually, I think it's going to give us a better chance to see a shake-up in the top 20 of points come round 6 when the top 20 from this season become the locked-in drivers. Last season, the top 20 didn't change much because they just got so far out ahead being locked into all these big speedway races. But with heat racing, they're not all locked into the feature. It gives a lot more opportunity for people to work their way up into the top 20 points. Jared having a look on JT here. I think he's going to get him now. Up the inside he comes. Oh, JT just missed turn 1 badly. The 11 continues to ride in the transfer spot. Not a ton of pressure from behind. Well, we sort of settled into a single file procession here. Let's work our way forward from the transfer spot. So currently running, whoops, in 13 spots is Larry Sheldrick. Then we got Dwight York ahead, Yari Rodriguez. Actually, here we got a little battle between Bev Fresh and Jackson Vatcher. Looks like Vatcher's going to hold on to the spot for now. Running in the 9th spot, 8th spot, Jack Painter. 7th, Adam Beresford. 6th, Baron McComas. 5th, we got Mike Carroll. 4th, Geno Sphere. In the 3rd spot, we've got Mulder Diggs. And 1st and 2nd here, we got 2nd place at Tommy Davis, and 1st place, Joe Mersdorf. They're actually kind of having a fun little battle up here. He's not letting Joe get away from him. And they're starting to catch the back of the field of Ronaldo Scott. So we're creeping up on 1/3 distance in this heat race. Getting on board here. Let's get the front bumper cam. Joe got off that corner very well. Yeah, I think Joe's just getting off the corner better here. Yeah, they're pretty evenly matched. Let's watch the field come by, see what some of the gaps look like from a couple of our stationary cameras here. Getting to the point where we just about have cars all the way around the track now. There's very few gaps. There's a little one here. There's a little one between the first 2 and 3rd place, but not many big gaps out here. Yeah, I think this gap here is the biggest one on track. Yeah, the leaders have caught the back of the field. We'll see if this gets them checked up and lets the rest of everybody close in on them. That tends to happen from time to time in these short track races in the Bonanza. Is that when the leader finally gets the back of the field, that's when the gap closes back up. So we've caught Ronaldo Scott. I'm going to try to put him a lap down. I said last week at Orange Show losing a lap in the heat was a death sentence, and that turned out not to be, so I'm not going to say that tonight. But it certainly is not good. If plenty of other cars get lapped, then you're in okay shape, but if you're the only car lapped down, your night is over. So Joe's gotten around the 85. Tommy's fighting him. Don't know why he's fighting the 2nd place car harder than he fought the 1st, but sometimes logic goes out the window. Alex Stello about to lose a lap. Stello's going to go down a lap here. Some of these guys, their cars just aren't working. They're screaming for yellow, so maybe they can make some adjustments or just get the tires cooled off. And see if maybe doing a heat cycle will bring them back to life for them. Torgerson's going to lose a lap here. Lap traffic's actually started to break up the first 2. See Sphere starting to close from behind. But he'll have to get through the same traffic. Joe trying to get away here at the front. Might be succeeding if Davis can't get around this 93 in quick order. He's gonna have to go through this corner without passing. Ooh, Torreson nearly ran up the back of the 78. And now it's gonna cost him a spot. Davis has gotten around the 93. Nobody between he and the leader. Let's see if he can close the gap back up. There is some pride in winning the heat, after all. And when you're looking this comfortable, there's no reason not to try to learn some things about what the car is going to do if you have to push hard at the end of the feature race. Ooh, Joe missed turn 3 there. That's going to help. Really been no change near the transfer spot. None of these guys who really should have been able to get to the front have been able to work their way through. Now Tommy's going to miss turn 3. I don't know if they're just trying another line there, but it doesn't look like it's fast to go that wide. Catching back up now. Joe's been having trouble here with Nigel. Ooh, got a little loose there into the corner. Here comes Tommy. Tommy looks to the inside, tries to keep it real low, but it just killed his run off the corner. He's peaking now, though. We got a battle for the lead. But Joe's going to get off the corner better. Tommy's going to have to charge it in here to stay with him. Ooh, he got him looking in the mirror, side by side for the lead. Got to get that run off. Come on. Okay, got to charge it then. Charge the corner here. I think he's got him. Gives him the room on the high side, though. But he is going to lead a lap here. And we have a lead change. Whoa. I think he might have touched that 37 there. He's going to go right on by the 37. And make the 64 of Isaac Groth his next victim on the list. They're side by side again for the lead. Joe going to try to make a run back at him. Doesn't get the run off of that corner. But he caught him looking in the mirror. We badly missed the corner there. I'm going to try to do it on the outside here. I don't see that working. And shockingly, it does not appear to have worked. When he wiggles it to not hit the back of that 54. These guys are making a fight out of it all of a sudden. And meanwhile, I keep looking back and seeing Gino slowly picking off cars behind him. This could turn into a 3-car battle at this rate. Joe gets a little wiggle. Tommy right there trying to capitalize. Can't get anything that time. Gino going around the 93 behind him. He's coming for this battle. We're nearing the 2/3 distance mark. Quite rapidly, in fact. Oh, you got a wiggle. Here comes the 78. Side by side for the lead again. 24 up ahead of him, completely missed turn one. And Tommy's going to take the lead again. See if Joe's got any more resistance for him. Joe's going to get wide and let Nigel get to his inside. As Tommy finally gets alongside the 64. And we are 2/3 of the way through the heat. Still no change at the transfer spot. So the top three each have a lap car between them for now. Joe Mersdorf trying to change that, getting to the inside of Isaac. I think he's going to get the pass done there, yep. Got some cars fighting ahead of the leader. Whitman in low. Whitman finally gets him. He's going to hope that he can start scooting away from this, but he's not in a good place. Nowhere near the transfer spot and about to go a lap down. Sphere having trouble with the traffic now. We got both lows here, Brian and Steven, nose to tail. And both about to get lapped. Oh boy. It's a little sketchy, 3 wide down the back. Gonna sort it back out to 2. Mersdorf trying to capitalize on that checkup that created. And Whitman really hoping that they keep fighting him so he can try to get away, but it does not look like that's going to happen. But this has broken up the battle for the lead. Davis now looking pretty comfortable with 2 lap cars who are side by side between him and Mersdorf. I'm wondering if this lead is going to catch the transfer spot before the end of the race. I don't think so. Whitman's giving it a fight, trying to stay on the lead lap here, because if a caution were to come out, that would save him. Only seen a little bit of argy-bargy out here, though, so I don't know how likely a yellow actually is right now. And Whitman's going to lose a lap. I think I'm going to say it now. I think being a lap down at this point, your night's over. Because I don't think the leader's going to lap far enough up through the field for it to really matter if the yellow won't put the transfer spot closer to you. It'll put him a whole lap ahead of you. Joe Mersdorf back there's trying to get his way back up here, but I don't know that he's got the laps to do it. We got 15 to go. We'll say it's nice to see we've seen no attrition so far in this race, unless I completely missed it. No attrition as of yet. Saw a little bit of it in the heats at Orange Show, I believe. Not great when your car doesn't make it to the end of the heat. Yeah, we're running out of laps here. And still no real sign of a battle for that transfer spot from the scoring screen. Leader's slowly creeping his way forward, but I don't know that he's even going to catch Mogard. 10 laps to go. Anybody that's in a transfer spot just needs to keep it together. Guys on the outside, they need to find something. I mean, Cheeseman's just not even really in striking distance. There are some lap cars starting to check guys up ahead of him now. See if he can make a charge here at the end. He is closing it up a little bit now. Cheeseman just keeps missing the corner there. Yeah, I don't know. Bev going backwards now. That might be a problem. If cars keep getting alongside her, she could find herself further back than she wants to be. Now they got a lap car ahead of them. Jared trying to work his way forward because these spots could very well matter. Ooh. Larry missed the corner. Here comes Cheeseman. He's got a chance at it now. And Bev's continue to get shuffled back up ahead. But now Cheeseman's got to fight from Armstrong. That might save Larry and Bev here. Larry missed the corner. That's not good. Here comes JT passing Cheeseman. Going to take a look at this 11 car. JT Armstrong wants to be in the feature. Down the back we go. Running out of laps, guys. Larry's going to try to push Bev to the outside and get out of the hot seat here. Can't quite do it there. Dwight York misses the corner. So does JT, though. Leader coming behind him. There'll be 2 to go for these guys at the line. They're getting racy here at the back. Cheeseman trying to get around Armstrong. He doesn't quite hit the bottom, but it's okay. Not too bad through the corner there. 2 to go. 3 more corners. Just got to keep it together. Mogard's going to lose a lap here, quite likely, right at the checkered flag. 5 and the 55 fighting each other tooth and nail, but that's not for the transfer spot. White flag for all these guys. The checker's going to be out for the leader. Mogart, I think, just stayed on the lead lap. Correction, that was 2 to go. That was the white flag for the leader. I'm an idiot. Mogart's going to lose lap right at the end then. Okay, here these guys come to get the white. White flag this time is for these guys. You'll see the checkered flag is for the leader. So these guys got to finish this lap. Mogart did get lapped. JT's going to get one more shot at it here, and I don't think it's going to be enough. Oh, Larry missed the corner, but got the run on the high side. Checkered flag. And he'll hang on to the transfer spot. And the motor blows at the line. That team's going to have some work to do. That was the best timed engine failure I think we've seen in Bonanza history. Wow. What are the odds of that? Alright, we're going to get set up for heat number 2. We're going to have to clean some oil off the track now. But drivers who transferred: Tommy Davis, Gino Sear actually took second, Joe Mersdorf, Mike Carroll, Jackson Vetcher, Adam Beresford, Muller Diggs, Baron McComas, Jack Painter, Yuri Rodriguez, Dwight York, Bev Fresh, and Larry Sheldrick. Eliminated: JT Armstrong, John Cheeseman, Chad Glass, Jared Mogar, Broderick Whitman, Stephen and Brian Lowe, Nigel Swami, Isaac Groth, Troy Torgerson, Ryan Pedersen, Alex Stello, and Ronaldo Scott are all out of the feature.
Drivers, to your cars.
field sits ready for heat number 2. Once again, 13 will transfer to the feature. 75 laps to decide who those will be. Should be getting the command any moment now.
Drivers, start your engines.
And the engines fire. On the pole for this heat, Scott Drake. We got Ben White alongside him. And we roll from the grid. So we had a clean heat 1. We'll see if that continues in heat 2. Pace car prepares to peel off. Pace car peels off. Drake brings them around the corner. Onto the front stretch. Field forms up. And we are green. And Drake pulls ahead from the get-go. Exactly what he'd be looking to do. And the first lap goes into the books. Don't know what I just did there. Random camera work. Says battle right around the transfer spot. See, is Stump still sitting in it? Stump has actually moved ahead. That 42 is on the hot seat. Reno Jackson going to look to take the spot away. So Farrell now having to fight off Spike Levinson for this spot. I think Spike's going to get it. He's got the spot. Farrell gets a big wiggle. Once again, we got some fast cars out behind the transfer spots. Guys that were contenders last year seem to be struggling a little bit this year. Reno Jackson trying to work his way forward. Reno gonna try to take the transfer spot. He's got the inside line, and I think Reno Jackson's got him here. Good handful of guys from last season's top 20 back here at the back of this pack. Farrell, Moorhead, Hill, all back here. Doug Spark, who nearly got himself into the top 20, is back here, just logging laps for now. We'll have to see if he can get his way forward. His car owner's back there too, from the looks of it. Only mechanical issue we saw in the first heat was an engine failure at the checkered flag, so I'm not sure that you can count on attrition if you're on the outside looking in. Spike gonna fight back here with Reno. Door to door off into turn 3. Spike's gonna take that spot right on back. Ooh, Reno's gonna miss the corner. Farrell's gonna get alongside him. Ooh, Spike way wide. Almost gets the wall on the exit. Fortunately for him, they were too busy fighting behind him for that to matter. Dave Daniels seems to be fading back here a little bit. Correction, Rod Weston. I think Dave's actually holding the spot. Spike misses the corner again. Farrell's going to scream it off into the corner to try to get up a spot. Spike going for that spot from the number 9. Going to push Jacob back into the hot seat. That 9 car was kind of hit and miss all last season. He had a few races where he ran pretty well, and then other races where he was just absolutely out to lunch. Seems to be sort of mid-pack today. Going to try to get himself into the feature for some good points, but he's got pressure coming behind him. There's a lot of fast cars back behind him. He's watching Spike get away from him. He keeps missing 3 and 4. Doug Spark trying to charge his way forward here. Farrell slowly closing in here on the 9 car. Honestly, it's impressive how competitive most of the field is. I think that bodes well for an exciting season, at least. I think the 9 is going to be in trouble here. Feels like he's starting to fade back to these guys. Spike's definitely driven off away from him here. And that 42's looming in the mirror here. Spark's still trying to get his way forward in that group back there, so he has a chance at it, but it seems like every other lap he's losing a spot that he just made up. He's going to get around Jackson here, though. Stump is just trying to run consistent laps, but they are starting to put pressure on him back here. It feels like he might actually be holding up a lot of these guys. Farrell just can't quite get to him. Meanwhile, Spike's driven up and caught Rod Weston. Big lunge from Farrell. Not enough to get him there. And there's Spark getting fought behind again. Well, Spike had caught Rod, but I think Rod's giving it some welling, gotten away from him. Or at least stayed ahead by car length or two. Big charge from Farrell. He's going to push hard, get to the inside. Battle for the transfer spot is heated up now. Farrell looking inside in 1 and 2. Door to door on the exit. I think he's got him here. Now what he needs to do is finish this pass before Nate can get on the bumper. Because if he can finish the pass and get clear out ahead here, he might be able to give himself the gap he needs to be comfortable. Because I think he's much faster than this 9. Oh, the 9 gets out of shape into 1. Here comes Nate. The 9 just having trouble now. Now that he's lost the transfer spot, it's all bad news. Going backwards quick. Look at how quickly they're getting away from him, too. Yeah, these guys all need to get around him quick, otherwise they're going to be in trouble. All their hill's going to go around him. Doug Sparks going to queue up for the pass. Jacob's chances of making this race are starting to fade quickly. The car's just not there for him anymore. Keeps getting these little wiggles into the corner, and that puts him way wide. Here comes Spark. Doug's going to get him too here. Anchors have gone out on the 9. He's just fading through this field. Another wiggle off into one, but that time at least it didn't let White get alongside him. Ooh, White got a wiggle. The 9 may have finally settled into a spot here. Nate and Farrell trying to have a little fight here for the transfer spot now that Farrell's in it. They got a big gap, 5 seconds to anybody ahead of them now. They've lost a lot of time. Oh, Nate's gonna get a wiggle. You guys are just pushing as hard as they can right now. I'm not really seeing any changes up ahead of them now. Somebody has trouble up in the top 13. These guys might be in an okay position, but they can't count on that. What's the gap to the leader from these guys? Slowly losing time. Here comes Hill charging in on Nate. Yeah, the 9 definitely was holding these guys back. Let's look at the big gap that they've all put on him once they got clear. Hill moving forward. He's going to be looking at this transfer spot with eyes like a wolf here in a second. Just not really getting any changes here. Anything happening ahead of him? Spike's gotten around Rod. Well, the only change I've seen. See if Rod starts fading back to these guys, but he's got a pretty good gap. He needs to worry about it in the immediate term, but in fact, I think he's probably going to try to fight for the spot. Ooh, Mulder. Hill really charges it in there. He's going to get Farrell up off the bottom a little bit. He's probably going to take another look here into one. He might be able to do it. Yeah, the gap's opening. Nope, not close enough. Anything, I think he overcharged the corner and let Nate get to him now. Oh, they both charged the corner deep that lap. Big wiggle from Nate there. Just starting to turn into a procession back here. Rod and Spike are still fighting up ahead, but it's still like a 5-second gap to these guys. Cars have started to get lapped. Ooh, here comes Hill looking for the transfer spot. Finally, some action back here. And Mahler's looking like he's gonna get it. Farrell tries to charge the outside, but that ain't gonna do it. And Molitor Hill moves himself into the transfer spot. He'd like to prove that he's fast enough to get away here. Here comes Nate, looking to push Farrell back another spot, give himself a chance to try to go up there and get that 66. We're starting to see some cars creep up on this group. I think I see the leaders back there behind them. We are running out of laps. Smallder trying to get away from this group and put himself in a very comfortable spot. Looks like he's succeeding in that attempt. Yeah, he's stretched it out now. He's got about a second gap back to Nate now. Laps are running out too. Yeah, I think Mulder's done what he needs to do. Barring attrition, I don't think anybody's gonna transfer their way in now. I won't rule out an engine failure here and there, but getting down from the pits, they have got a new engine ready to go in that 11 car, so he will roll out for the feature. Wouldn't have made any difference to these guys because it would have just elevated. Oh, we've got debris on the racetrack. Where does that come from? Where did that come from? Is there something going on up ahead of us here? I'm looking for a damaged car. I don't see one. Where was that debris from? There was no yellow, so nobody went around. Very curious. It feels like they are closing in on these guys ahead of them. I was kind of hoping to see a yellow. That would have made this really interesting. I think Ben White's going backwards. Does he have damage? I don't think so. These guys certainly feel like they're catching the group ahead. Keep trying to get a look at that 19 to figure out if it has damage. I don't know. It might. That back end might be pushed in. It's hard to tell from the angles we're getting. They're running out of laps either way, but they are catching these guys quick all of a sudden. That gap is way down. They caught a slow lap car potentially here? Is that what's happening? Yeah, we're closing right up on them. Not many laps though for it to make a difference. I think Farrell and Spark are too far back for it to even matter. But this might be a godsend for Nate if they can actually get there. I don't know if they will. I'll have to know what that debris was all about. So Ben White's now sitting in 12th. Molitor Hill's catching, but I don't think we're going to get there before the checkered flag. Nate, I think you just need to make a move here on Hill and not worry about catching these guys ahead. I don't think it's going to happen. No, it's the white flag for the leader back behind these guys. They've still got 2 to go. I think the leader's that 007 getting ready to catch Spark here. I don't think anything's going to change here in this last lap, but we'll see. No, it doesn't look like it. Looks like Molitor Hill's going to cruise to the transfer spot. No idea what all that debris was. I'll have to check and see if I can find a car with damage. Somebody clearly got hit there, but nobody went around. And there's the checkered flag. Spark tried to make a move there right at the end. Couldn't get it done. Let's, real quick before it starts retiring cars, go into chase camera and see if we can see damage to the back of anybody. Oops, that's the wrong button. Don't think Ben White's got damage there. Looking for a car with damage. I didn't find one. Let's see if we find anything looking at rear chase. 73's got front end damage. He's had it for a while here, though. Where did he pick up this damage? I don't know that he was the one that dropped the debris, because he's had the damage, looks like basically the whole goddamn race. Yeah, no, it wasn't him. Because that damage has probably been there since lap 1 on this car. No, he's had the damage since sometime on this lap, let's see. Oh yeah, he drove up and hit the back of Molitor Hill. Genuinely curious who dropped all that debris, but not finding another car with damage. I ain't got the foggiest clue. Oh well. Alright, so transferring from Heat 2, Joe Poulsen, Tony Danto Jr., Tony Gunk, Scott Drake, Ron Stout, Dave Daniels, Gene Stapleton, Steve Inkman, Spike Levinson, Nosmo Hawkins, Rod Weston, Ben White, and Molitor Hill. And we'll figure out which heat was fastest here. Didn't save the export. I'm an idiot. Well, at least I've read off the names. I can run the stream back and see who it was. Idiot! Actually, I don't even need to do that, because I had the results page open, so I can just see it. Yeah, fortunately, all the data I need is actually going to be there. 56.8. That was the slower heat. Okay. Okay, let's see. So, Joe Poulsen, Tony Gunkville Jr., Tony the Gunk Man, Scott Drake, Ron Stout, Dave Daniels, Gene Stapleton, Stephen Inkman, Spike Levinson, Nosmo Hawkins, Rod Weston, Ben White, and Molitor Hill. Okay. Roster's ready to race.
Drivers, to your cars. Drivers, to your cars.
Whoops. Alright, engine should be firing shortly here for the feature race. 150 laps here from the short course at Daytona.
Drivers, start your engines.
And we'll watch the grid roll off. Mullimer Diggs and Joe Mersdorf. On the second row, Scott Drake and Mike Carroll. Third row, Tony Gunk, Gino Sphere. Then we have Tommy Davis, Baron McComas, Gene Stapleton and Joe Polson, Ben White and Dwight York, Nazmo Hawkins and Bev Fresh, Yori Rodriguez and Ron Stout, Tony Tanto and Jack Painter, Oliver Hill and Larry Sheldrick. Steve Inkman, Dave Daniels, Jackson veteran Adam Beresford, and at the back, Rod Weston and Spike Levinson. See, Tony, that's how you can do the grid without it taking 6 years. Probably would work even better at a longer track, because then we wouldn't be behind live as we get started, but we'll probably get caught up when there's a wreck or something stupid. Pace cars in. And the battle commences. Jeez, we were looking 3 wide off into turn 1. We're getting 3 wide here. The track's not really wide enough for that, is it? The groove sure as hell ain't. Ben White sails it off into turn 3. So we got a battle for the lead. Mersdorf led the lap. Diggs trying to fight back on the bottom. I think he'll win the battle, but we're fighting. We're scrappy at the front now. This is a nice battle for the lead. I haven't seen somebody hang on the outside this long all night. Would make sense we get some good racing since these are the 26 best cars from the heats. He is just hanging tough out there. I think he might have finally lost enough ground now. Wow, this is cool. I didn't think this would work for this long. I don't think he's going to get past him doing this. So I'm not sure it's really worth it to put the wear on the tires to do this, but he's not going to give up, is he? They've been side by side for 7 laps now. I'm impressed. I'm genuinely impressed that he's held out this long, and he's going to lead that lap. Like, I don't know that you'll ever clear him, but this could be what works to win the race. You really do pin the guy on the bottom down, and he hurt his run off. So you can get him, well, you can't get him, but you get nose to head where you need to be. Look at this, he's going to nose ahead right there at the line. I think we're learning something that might pay off at the end of the race. This is some great racing. We didn't see anything like this in the heats, I don't think. Did he get him? Not quite. He almost cleared him. Like, he's making this outside work. I didn't think this would work anywhere near as well as it's working. It might actually get him the spot. Because his car is just getting such a good run off the corner because he's not being held down. Like, Diggs gets a good run right through the center. That's where he makes up both time back. But Mersdorf just kills him off and down the straightaway. And they're not even really getting, like, caught by the guys behind him at any rate of knots. He just about gets it to where he can turn in on him. I think they're shifting, too. I hadn't noticed that. He did it! He made the outside work! That's amazing. That's incredible. Mersdorf to the lead. It took 14 laps of work, but he made the outside work for him and made the pass for the lead. This is a strong race car. Everybody better be worried. Look at that. He's scooting away now. I wouldn't have thought that was possible. Battle for the third spot. Davis and Drake. Ooh, Drake missed the corner badly there. He's going to bring Sphere forward. Drake trying to fight on the outside. And we'll get some of our aerial coverage here. Carroll now looking at Drake, wanting to move himself forward into the top 5. Can't quite get there. There's a battle. Yuri Rodriguez got cars attacking him. Brad Weston just now pulling ahead. Bev having a look. It's actually making me a little bit dizzy. Let's come back down to ground level. Nice little wad of cars here going for spots, huh? Just outside of the top 10 here. Yeah, really a little bit more than just, aren't we? We're looking at the battle for 16th. Rodriguez trying to hold on to it. But He's very much under attack. Surprised to see Tonto that far back. He ran really well in his heat, but apparently they made some adjustments for the feature to try to make the car even better, and they were the wrong adjustments. Back of the field's already about to get caught by the leader. It's about how long it took in the heats, too. Just get real checked up when you get back here in this part of the field racing each other, I would say. And Mersdorf's caught the back of the field. Thatcher just missed turn one badly. These guys are all starting to get a little desperate. Look at that. Mersdorf going for the outside move on Painter. And he's going to get it. That car is scary good. He's out to comp on this battle we're watching, and I think he's just going to go straight through him. Let's see, is he going to be like a hot knife through butter? Oh, he actually missed the corner there a little bit. Here comes Davis alongside of him. Just powers down the straightaway. No, he missed turn one there. Here comes Davis. We might get a change for the lead. Davis is going to pull ahead. Is he going to be the leader at the line, though, is a real question. Catching this lap traffic quickly. Yeah, Davis is going to lead a lap here. Third different leader of the day, Tommy Davis. Mersdorf's going to want that back. Thatcher gets forced wide. Here comes Mersdorf looking for the lead back. Didn't really get a run off. Whoa, he's going to sail it in there, though. He's got it back. Now he's going to try to cut back through these lap cars and put some space between he and the rest of the competition. Ooh, Mersdorf misses turn one again. Davis gonna have a look. Just so hard to get that run on the bottom now. He's gonna charge it in there and try for it. Sphere starting to loom large in their mirrors. Restore forced wide again. Sphere takes a look on the inside, but he can't get the run off the corner there. He's going to charge it in there on him, though. Battle for the lead heating up. Is Sphere going to charge it into one here, too, and try to take the other spot? He is. He charges it down into the corner. Davis gets real wide. Sphere can bring it around. He'll be the fourth leader of the day. Davis going to charge back on him. Sphere going to try to get a run to the line. I don't think he's going to be the leader at the line even. Nope. Now he's real wide here. He's going to get himself tucked back in. Work up another charge. Whoa, that got sketchy 3 wide. I was convinced we were about to see some contact there. Mersdorf can't get off the corner that low. Davis starting to see cars side by side ahead of him. Mersdorf wide again. He's just trying to overdrive it to make up for what he's lost in traffic. Davis is going to get pushed up by Spike Levinson, trying to get his lap back, but I think that's going to be for naught. And Gino's going to miss turn 1. Let Joe get alongside of him. He's going to close the door a bit here in 3 and 4. He needs to get around Beresford and got to do it quick here. Davis is starting to put up a number of cars between he and the rest of the competition. He's getting a little frantic here in traffic. Davis continue to put cars between he and the rest of the field. And Mike Carroll's going to go for the 3rd spot back there. Oh, Gino misses the corner again. Now the lap car is going to just sail it in on him. Davis is getting through this gaggle, and it's going to start to stretch him a big advantage here. These guys can't find a way through this group. Oh, Gino just cannot get the car to turn in some of these laps, and here comes Mike Carroll. So Davis has gotten through this wad of traffic now. There's one more he's going to have to get through, but it's a car out by itself right now. Gino needs to start getting around these guys. So does everybody else in the lead lap if they want to catch back up. There's just too much side by side ahead of them. And they keep missing the turn in. Come on, guys. Get up there and make a race out of this thing. Ooh, contact between Mersdorf and Beresford. I thought we were going to see a car go around there for a second. Tommy Davis has now made it a 4+ second lead because these guys cannot get through this traffic. He's passing Tonto now, which will leave him with even more clean track ahead. And even so, the gap's opened up. Working through lap traffic. Maybe what determines this is we're just past the 1/3 distance. Sphere once again has trouble turning the car in. Come on, Gino, you got to get around these lap cars if you want to start making time. Diggs has gotten around Mersdorf. Diggs doing better through the traffic. Gap out front continues to grow. Gap's five almost even. Close it a little bit that lap. Gino still needs to get around some more of this traffic. Diggs is still mired in traffic with Mersdorf and everybody else. It's 11 and 80 aren't, you know, terribly slow. They're just a little bit slower than everybody else, so it may actually take them a while to get around these guys, but they're not holding them up too bad. Davis is going to catch more traffic. Gino, come on, you got to make the bottom work, guy. Yeah, Davis just in clean air sailing away. Gonna start catching cars here soon, though. Okay, so Tommy Davis is now catching some more traffic. Let's see if this checks him up at all. Gino still hasn't gotten by either of those two cars back there, though. Traffic will probably start to get more complicated as we go, because we'll start seeing the earlier traffic getting checked up with new traffic, and there'll just be a whole lot of cars at some point in the race, I'm sure. Alright, he's got to see what he can do with Bev here in the 13. He can make quick work of some of these cars. It'll assist him in his drive. Ooh! Really got in there on her quarter panel and gave her no other option but to move out of the way or get wrecked. He's going to give the same ultimatum to Dave Daniels here, it looks like. '78 is stout right now. 54 looked really strong at the beginning, but now the 78 has started to put a mark on this race. We're nearing halfway. I already checked to see if they're going to have to pit for fuel. I don't think they will. But if they do, we could see some mixed up strategy. It'd be interesting. Doubt we'll see anybody pit without a yellow, though. I think they can do 150 laps on fuel. And Dwight York is going to go down a lap. Gino still hasn't passed anybody back there. Just send it in on a guy and give him no other choice but to get out of your way. Seems to be the method right now for Davis. He's nearing cars in the top 10 to put a lap down. Gap continues to grow. It's now 7 seconds. Gino just can't get around anybody back there. Nobody else is even in the same zip code. Here we go on Molitor Hill. There's another car down a lap. Race started off real good, but now he's really starting to stink up the show. But there's a lot of traffic ahead of him now. Ooh, he missed the turn there. Now he's starting to make some mistakes. Problem is, Gino has so many cars he has to get through for even be able to capitalize on a mistake. He's just not getting around them. We're going to start seeing cars in the top 10 down a lap here in the next couple. We're starting to see that mix of cars that have already been lapped and cars that are trying not to be lapped. That may create a traffic situation that will not work in the 78's favor, but he's got such a gap, he can take his time. Whoa. That was aggressive. Needlessly so, I would say. This Gino still hasn't cleared anybody back there. I think the rest of the field needs a yellow. And even that might not help him. Ooh, a little bit of contact. He's leaning on him. What is he doing? Oh, he's turned him into the fence. The leader's in a wreck. Still green. A lot of damage to both of those cars. A ton to the 6. For sure. The 6 has got to be coming to the pit here. That was completely... Oh, and he's into the back of Tony Gunk. What is he doing out there? 6 comes to the pit lane. Tons of damage on that one. There is damage to 78, but he's still going. Lost a bunch of time to that. That was just so stupid. Why did he do that? He didn't even lift. Like, a little lift and you would have gotten away with it. But now you're going to have to nurse this damage. It doesn't look like it's too terribly bad. And now he's made an enemy, too. The 6, if he gets back out there, may be looking for payback. They're working on that thing. Oddly, Gino still hasn't passed anybody back there. I was really hoping that was going to bring out a yellow. Because that would have mixed this whole race back up. Doesn't look like it's hurt Davis's pace too badly. And the 6 is leaving pit road now. That car's probably going to be way off the pace now, though. He's just now rejoining traffic. He might be looking for the 78. Like there's got to be damage on the 78, but there's not a lot. And that's super lucky that he managed to stuff a car in the wall and not hurt himself too badly. It'd be really hilarious when we suddenly see smoke out of this thing now. Yeah, he's basically picked up where he let off. Gino's finally starting to get around cars back there, but there's just so much traffic. Honestly, what he probably needs is for Davis to do something stupid again, or somebody else to do it and actually bring out a yellow. That had turned the 6 car around. That would have definitely changed the complexion of this race. Whoa, he's missed turn 1 there. But Gino's just in such heavy traffic, it's not going to matter. Amazingly, we've run 2 heats and more than half of the feature with no yellow flags tonight. Commentator's curse, of course, that'll be. But honestly, this commentator's rooting for a yellow, just to close up the gaps at the front and see if it makes any difference. Very well might not, but be interesting to find out. Yeah, the 6 is hurt, but I don't think he's actually any slower than he was before. And we've got the 40 in the pits. Maybe they don't have the ability to make it on fuel. He's taking 4 tires. Yeah, they're all pitting. Okay, we will get pit stops. Oh boy. We'll see how that shakes out because what's the fall off looking like? There is some fall off, not a ton. These are really long looking pit stops though. Like, they're losing multiple laps. Is everybody going to do that? I'm wondering what's going to happen here. I'm wondering why these pit stops are taking so long. Is it playing like the Gilligan's Island rule or something? There goes McComas diving for the pits. Yeah, I guess everybody's going to pit, and they're not short pit stops. So yellow now would ruin everything for most of the field, honestly. Because we've now got 2 cars on the lead lap. I think the leader is going to be the last one to come in. Yeah, up and here comes the leader to pit road, so they couldn't make it on fuel. Who would have thought? I really thought they could make it. I don't know why these pit stops are so damn long, though. Okay, Davis in his stall. Right side's going on. Fuel getting poured in that fuel cell. Left side's going on. And now we're waiting on fuel, I guess? I don't know why these pit stops are so long. Ben White's going to take the lead here on the cycle. And Davis finally leaves the pit lane. Okay, we're going to just keep watching this car to figure out where the cycle through is. Ben White has led a couple of laps, it looks like. And he's in the pit lane now. Alright, looks like Davis will reclaim the lead here. Waiting to see where positions cycle through. Because it looks, the scoring's still very goofed up. So we had a few cars that still hadn't come to the pit lane. Working lap 100. Let's see. The scoring still doesn't look right. I'm trying to figure out where we're actually cycling through here, because Davis isn't actually the leader yet. Joe Polson scored as the leader the last time around. And there he is leaving the pit. I think he's leaving the pit and about to get lapped as he does so. Because now it's showing, yeah, Diggs has moved up to second. I think the scoring started to cycle through here. Took it a couple of laps to really cycle through, so Diggs has moved ahead of Sphere. They're in that knot of traffic just behind the leader. And I think we've basically gotten through the whole cycle without a yellow coming out, which is amazing to me. Usually these guys do something stupid coming in and out of the pits. Just seems to be the trend. So Davis lost some of his advantage, but not enough to be worried. Gap is actually coming down slowly, but we'll see if it continues to do that as the traffic situation reverses. But Diggs may have something to say here before the end. We'll find out. He's continuing to charge towards him, but there's a bunch of lap cars he's still going to have to deal with. Got 4 lap cars right now between he and the lead. It's right under 3 seconds what we got this time around. Yeah, it grew a little bit. Davis has a couple of lap cars he's getting ready to catch, but I don't know how much of a difference that's going to make. Gap's growing now. Diggs needs to get through this traffic real quick if he wants any shot at this thing. He's losing time and he's not getting through this traffic very quickly. Davis catching 2 cars of his own to deal with. He's going to look for the inside on Beresford. He's going to get there. Diggs is not advancing. Running out of laps for anybody to do anything about this. And Diggs continues to lose time. I don't know if anybody else is going to have anything to say about this even. 78, since they've taken the lead, has been very stout with one really big mistake that should have absolutely cost him everything. I don't know how he got away with that. Mulmer's just not getting through those guys back there. And Beresford's going to fight back. That's a new move. Haven't seen very many lap cars get up and do that. Ooh. That's what Diggs wants to see. Lap cars getting feisty with the leader. Davis is just livid on the radio. Saying that dumb SOB's more than a lap down. Why is he fighting me now? Gap came down. Diggs wants to see this continue. Gap's closing, but Diggs needs to get through the traffic to get up here to be able to capitalize. Now the gap's growing again. You just can't capitalize when there's an advantage to be had. Beresford has cleared him. Davis is going to try to make this outside work on him. We did see the outside work for a faster car early in the race. It might have worked right there. It's right there at the bumper. But I think he's finally cleared Beresford. Ooh, Beresford's going to sail it in there and catch Davis looking in the mirror. Diggs is finally getting around Vatcher. Alright, I think Davis finally put that to bed. Beresford's going to miss turn one. Davis goes in hard on Levinson. Diggs is trying to get around Hawkins. Yeah, Diggs just can't get far enough through this traffic for any of this to help him. It's got it under 2 seconds, but it's not going to stay that way for very long the way this lead car has been. Still got it under 2 seconds, but now he's got all the traffic to deal with, and Davis isn't going to have anything for a while. Although I think the next car he's going to catch is the 6 that might be looking to settle a score. Gap's still coming down. Diggs might have something for him here at the end if he can get through these 2 cars. But Beresford's now fighting Diggs, which is going to help Davis. I don't know what Beresford's problem is out there today. Just seems to be mad at everybody. Yep, Gap came up there. Come on, Diggs, get around these guys. Make a show out of this. He sent it in on Beresford a little bit there. I think he's going to really send it here in turn 1. Maybe not. He's on his bumper. I thought he was going to turn him there for a second. Honestly, the way he's been running the lead lap cars, I don't know that I'd fault anybody for spinning Beresford here. Just can't get to Beresford now. And the leader's starting to skate away again. Thought we had a contender for somebody that was going to make a show out of this. But alas, Tommy Davis just looks like he's too fast tonight. They got that car figured out. Gap growing, yeah. I don't know that I see any battles for anybody in the lead lap. Honestly, the most interesting thing is, will the 6 be a problem here for the 78 or not? And everybody is still running. That's pretty amazing. Especially that 6. I thought that kind of damage could have done him in. Diggs finally gets alongside the 1. Alright. Alongside him. Not even a fight. It's probably for the best. It's a long season. Yuri, you don't want to be wrecking people this early in the season, do you? Even if they deserve it. 20 to go. Diggs isn't making any time. It's going to be a few laps before Davis catches anybody. He's looking pretty comfortable. There have been no yellows at all in any of these races tonight, even though there probably should have been one in this race. No attrition. The only mechanical failure we saw was at the checkered flag in Heat 1. Actually kind of curious if he's actually going to catch Ben White here. Laps clicking away. No sign of anybody giving the challenge to 78. Although Diggs is finally going to get clear of all the traffic, so if 78 gets checked up by these guys, he might stand a chance. It's a 4-second gap. What is it this time around? Did it stay the same? 4.15? Let's see. Let's see if he can make any inroads here. He doesn't have very many laps to do it. A small gain. Not enough to get there. But enough to show that this traffic gets this leader checked up. He might have a chance. Davis just needs to not look in the mirror. Don't even worry about what's behind you. Eyes forward, keep charging. Yeah, the gap is closing, but nowhere near fast enough for him to get there without some help. Honestly, I think Diggs would like to see a yellow right now because it would not have any lap cars between he and the leader on the restart. But too many more laps and it'll end the race. He's closing, but he's never going to get there at this rate. He needs to gain much faster than that. Well, as the leader comes up to the back of this gaggle of cars, it might do something here. But I don't think he's going to get there. Yeah, he lost time that lap. He needs something to happen ahead of him to have any chance. The leader catching people who are side by side might just be that thing. Ben White's now going to probably fight for his life here. But I don't think it's going to matter. That was a big gain that lap for Diggs. Got under 3.5 now. I don't think he's got the laps to get there. If there was another 20 to go, maybe. We got 6 to go this time at the line. Ben White's going to lose his lap here right at the end. Unless Ben charges the bottom here, I don't think Diggs has any chance now. Ben charged, gave him a little tap. It's 3 seconds. Oh boy, come on Ben, do something silly. There we go, that was silly. Check him up. Bring Diggs into this race. 4 to go. Gap down to 2.5. Come on, Molimer, dig, dig, dig. I don't think he's going to get there. 3 to go this time by. Davis really just needs these cars to get out of his way. Gap 1.5 seconds just about. He's alongside White. Sends it in there. White this time gets real wide. Is White going to take a charge at him here into turn 1 though? Come on, Ben, do it. 2 to go. Ben doesn't do anything this time. Ben gives up, I think. Gap 1.5 seconds. Coming to the white flag this time around. I don't think Molimer can get there. Not without something really silly happening here. That was silly. He missed the bottom. White flag. In the air. One more time around. No big mistakes. Come on. He's just got one more set of corners. I don't think White's close enough to do anything to him, and Diggs cannot get there. White sails it in. He missed the bottom. I don't think it's going to be enough. It won't be. Tommy Davis is going to win at Daytona. Another few laps, and that could have gotten really interesting. We never did get caught up. Final running order: Tommy Davis, Molimer Diggs, Mike Carroll, Gino Sphere, Joe Morsdorf, Scott Drake, Ben White, Baron McComas, Nasmo Hawkins, Joe Polson, Rod Weston, Tony Dunto Jr., Dwight York, Molitor Hill, Bev Fresh, Tony Gunk, Dave Daniels, Larry Sheldrick, Adam Beresford, Spike Levinson, Jackson Vetcher, Jack Painter, Steve Inkman, Gene Stapleton, Ron Stout, and Yari Rodriguez round out the field. Next week we move on to Rockingham. So that'll be an interesting event. I will work on the points here, so I'm gonna continue streaming so I can tell you all what the points are when I have them. Okay, so wish there was an easier way to do this. Okay. Excuse me. Oh, God. He's doing so well not having to cough that. That's not the right points. Did I upload my new standings file? There we go. All right, current points. Points leader, Joe Meyersdorf. Mike Carroll in second. Tommy Davis, third. Tony Tanto in fourth. Mullimer Diggs in 5th, Scott Drake 6th, Adam Beresford 7th, Jack Painter sitting 8th, 9th, Ben White 10th, Dwight York, Juno Sphere 11th, Tony Duncan 12th, Dave Daniels 13th, Lauderhill 14th, Rod Weston 15th, 16th for Steve Inkman, Doug Spark in 17th, Ron Sutton 18th, 19th, Jackson Vatcher, and 20th, which will be the cutoff here soon for automatic entry, is Joe Polson. But it is still some tight battles. I mean, look at these gaps to the next. It's 5 points here. And Ronaldo Scott is last in points, which is kind of sad. Look at our upcoming schedule. That file didn't update. There it goes. So coming up next is Rockingham, and then Atlanta, Texas will be the first race, where this season's top 20 is what locks you in. So we've had our 2 short tracks in our super speedway, and then a 1.5 miles to set up the top 20 going forward. Enjoy your afternoon.